There is very surrender. No? Oh yes, good day. By your mercy, I have to take this to Shada. Yes, sometimes the constellation, the astrology is, I don't know, karma hits very hard sometimes. And this end of Purushottam, quite a few things manifested. You know, life goes on, the struggle goes on. There's no way out except death. And what's the use of death if immediately you have to take another birth? So you better do your job right now here. The tests, they're coming. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 billion, trillion tests are coming because you're eternal and it's being tested. Are you a sevaka or are you a foolish enjoyer? If you want to foolishly enjoy this world for yourself, then you get Elon Musk karma or maybe Prince Andrew karma or maybe Mamata Banerjee karma or Rahul Gandhi karma or Slumdog Millionaire karma, torturing children, everything here in this world. It is an amazing place of misery. Krishna may save him. He saved him many times, so he's a miracle boy what it comes to health. Anyway, but it's the same time coming in difficult moment. So my dear, just keep becoming Krishna conscious. Just be Krishna conscious. Just preach Krishna conscious. I have several cases. I spoke with another restaurant today, with somebody who has a Krishna restaurant. And they're not preaching in the night. They're only giving one class a week. Are you crazy? You have a property and you're preaching once a week? Lazy bums? Who the hell you think you are? Krishna's giving you a place with a deity and everything, and you're not preaching every day. Well, then give it to somebody else if you don't want to do the preaching there. So it's a hard time. Krishna tests. Krishna also pulls ears. Krishna can slap. Krishna does. He's very, very aware. So, yes, preaching is our life. It's our life. We have nothing else to do than preaching. Anyhow, I will read one verse from Bhagavatam so that we at least can say, in Vindakunja we have our class every day. Antahir apatitair kurvya imsayetas tatas chatan punati yesham poshena sheshamuk yati adasvayam. Reading from third canto, the description of the adverse fruitive activities. Chapter 3, Canto 3, Chapter 30, text number 11. He secures money by committing violence here and there, and also he employs it in the service of his family. He himself eats only a little portion of the food thus produced, and he goes to hell for those for whom he earned the money in such an irregular way. Wow.
What do you talk in this game there?
That's Bhagavatam answer on our question. Huh? Bhagavatam is always on top of us. There's a Bengali proverb. The person for whom I have stolen accuses me of being a thief. The person for whom I have stolen, he accuses me of being a thief. La persona para quien yo robé, ahora sí me acusa de ser ladrón. The family members for whom an attached person acts in so many criminal ways are never satisfied. In illusion, an attached person serves such family members, and by serving them, he is destined to enter into hellish conditions of life. For example, a thief steals something to maintain his family, and he is caught and imprisoned. This is the sum and substance of material existence and attachment to material society, friendship, and love. Also, he is attached
Although an attached family man.
Also, an attached family man is always engaged in getting money by hook and by crook for the maintenance of his family. He cannot enjoy more than what he could consume, even without such criminal activities. A man who eats 8 ounces of foodstuffs may have to maintain a big family and earn money
By any means.
Go ahead.
By any means to support that family. But he himself is not offered more than what he can eat. And sometimes he eats the remnants that are left after his family members are fed. Even by earning money by unfair means, he cannot enjoy life for himself. That is called the covering illusion of Maya. The process of illusory service to society, country, and community is exactly the same everywhere. The same principle is applicable even to big national leaders. A national leader who is very great in serving his country is sometimes killed by his countrymen because of irregular service. In other words, one cannot satisfy his dependents by this illusory service. Although one cannot get out of the service because servant is his constitutional position. A living entity is constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme Being, but he forgets that he has to render service to the Supreme Being and diverts his attention to serving others. This is called Maya. By serving others, he falsely thinks that he is master. The head of a family thinks of himself as the master of the family, or the leader of a nation thinks of himself as the master of the nation. Whereas actually he is serving, and by serving Maya, he is gradually going to hell. Therefore, a sane man should come to the point of Krishna consciousness and engage in the service of the Supreme Lord, applying his whole life, all of his wealth, his entire intelligence, and his full power of speaking. Joy, Paul is very strong here.
Prabhupada is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, what can be added here? It describes how people, first of all, think that they're leaders. that they're family boss, country boss, company boss, department boss, this boss and that boss. And they're very eager to bossy around others. I remember a case of Maharaj Yudhishthira. His son was very bossy, very bossy. So his father was complaining, why you are so bossy? And then the problem came to me. And then I looked at them and I said, well, he's so bossy because you are so bossy. You are the bossy guy, now he's copying you, now you're complaining that he's so bossy. So this is the problem. We are too much bossy and we can also go into the illegal. So the illegal is like when you do anything illegal, the whole world is corrupt. We know that. From the police to the ministers, everywhere there is an amazing amount of corruption. And corruption for whom do they steal? For their family, for their beloved, for their wives and grandsons. And they are never satisfied. They will say, you're a corrupt thief. All the money you bring to us is from thievery and from corruption. And if you go to jail, then we are also looking like we are the family of the thief. No. This material world, there's no hope. You got to take everything in Krishna consciousness. Those who want to arrange things without Krishna consciousness, they will definitely suffer. And especially when you're working in temples, you have to make sure that this is not private business. This is not private property. As long as something is private property, it's your karma. If it is Krishna's property, it is your service, not your karma. That is a it's difficult. When you give a donation, that becomes your service because you give it. If you receive a donation, that becomes your karma. Because now you got the donation, you have to spend it according to. You have to spend it according to the devotional service. It's actually a very special moment. We are in a special moment in this life, in this world. And we have to learn the lesson, do everything for Krishna. Especially if you're wearing the saffron dress or if you're going the path of only Krishna. Because if you're going the path of family, wife, children, yes, you have to make money. Hopefully you make your money honestly and then you feed your family. But if you're becoming bossy, again, even if you're honest, they will also not feel very happy about it. Nobody wants to be bossy around. But very easily we like to bossy others. I give you an example. You're meeting a friend or an acquaintance, and you ask him, how are you? Yes, good. What are you doing? Oh, I have a company. Really? How many employees you have? 150. And you go, wow, incredible. You have 150 employees. You must be a special person. Not everybody can pay 150 salaries every week. But then you're asking somebody who's working in this company, not him, and then you say, hey, how are you? Oh, yes. You have a job? Yes, I have a job. Where do you work? Oh, I work in the factory of the guy of the 150 employees. Oh, You mean you're an employee in that company? Oh. When you speak to the owner, you say, oh. When you speak to them, oh. Poor guy. You have to work hard just for getting his salary. And in the companies in Germany, when you go into work, you have to walk through a metal detector to see you're not taking out anything valuable from the company. And when the boss looks, you go. Then the boss is gone. So this is the misery of this material world. The boss wants to pay very little and get a lot of work out of you. And you want to charge him a lot and do as little as possible. So where will happiness come from in that? It even goes to the domestic aid. You have a domestic servant. A domestic servant is not happy to be your domestic servant. The domestic servant wants to have his domestic servant. Huh? But some people, they're hired to work in rich people's houses. So if you work in a rich people's house, you also have rich food. You also have a nice, you probably live in a very fancy room. You have many of the facilities. One of my sannyasis one time blooped, he left the sannyas. So he went to America and he got a job in a golden jail. He was working in one of the very rich movie makers in the music industry, MVT or something. The guy was so rich, he had a mansion with everything, swimming pools, with bowling area, with everything, with, you cannot imagine. Two brand new Mercedes standing there if he wants to take a walk around the thing. And the man only came one day a year with some friends. So who was staying in there? The ex-sannyasi. He was staying there. And he got the job by his girlfriend. So him and his girlfriend, they enjoyed the palace. But it was a jail, a golden jail. So this is the material world. It's a golden jail, copper jail, iron jail, mud house jail, bamboo jail. Like in Vietnam, they're very good. They make all these traps where you fall into the bamboo. Then you're in the bamboo jail. Maybe spiked by some bamboos also. Everything is misery. This material world is a world where we're learning. You have to do things for Krishna. You only hope. And don't be lazy. Laziness is no good for nothing. If you have no project, your project, then you will not advance spiritually. You have to have your project. You have to sweat it out. Even though I'm now in the phase of retirement, forget it. I got more headache retired than when I'm not the same. So, no. You have to have your project. You have to protect your project. You have to protect your people. You have to tolerate the nonsense. You have to tolerate that people want to cheat you. All this is part of the game. What to do? Why Krishna made it this way? Well, I guess he wants to get us out of this material world, so he wants to drive us to become tired. He wants us to be tired of this material existence. So he creates so many unfortunate circumstances. So many. No problem. Krishna can put us in Guantanamo. You know what's Guantanamo? That's the jail the Americans made in Cuba. There they put the people, they can do anything with them. There's not under the laws of the United States. They can torture, they can do anything. Guantanamo is like the worst place you can imagine in the world. No, not the worst, it's much worse. The prison in North Korea, I think they're worse than Guantanamo.
Andaman was also the same.
They have a jail?
The British used to keep all the Indian criminals there.
Oh,
Whoever does crimes, killing and all in India, who is fighting against them, all the politicians, leaders, they put in Andaman.
okay.
You cannot come back. You'll be stuck there.
Okay, so you got it? Here, Srila Prabhupada gives the complete description of the material world. And you get nothing except waste your time and no spiritual advancement. But Prabhupada gives the solution here. Everything has to be done for the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord, for the project, for Krishna's service. My God.
30 minutes. 30 minutes more.
Yes. But that was already so heavy. So heavy. Prabhupada at the Srimad Bhagavatam. I love this book because it's always up to date. It's always addressing the real issues of life. And the dishonesty is really what creates our downfall. If we are dishonest and Krishna's sweet will, it means to create something positive. Of course, Srila Prabhupada, he showed something so big, so amazing. So amazing. Prabhupada was too much. But even a small preacher can start a little preaching center and preaching to 2-3 neighbors and getting them to take prasadam, becoming vegetarian. It's also devotional service. You don't have to open a big society like Prabhupada. For some reason, in my life, I was sent to South America. And South America, everybody had heard about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was so powerful and so famous. So when I came, I was immediately important because I was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So my credit was my father. Like you say, your father is a great musician, but you don't know about music. So my father is Prabhupada, so I came and people say, oh, you're son of Prabhupada. So everybody believed in me and everybody kind of took shelter of working for Prabhupada with me. In this way, our movement grew quite fast and quite extensive. But I'm not qualified for that. I cannot sustain it. Of course, I can give Prabhupada as much as possible, but to really maintain it, sustain it, that power is very difficult. Even Prabhupada, his initiations in so many places did not always work and did not always last very long. So it is to have a disciple, to have a child, to have a son is hard work and you have to be there. If you have a guru which you never see, never talk to, no festivals, no coming together, it gets boring. If you have to replicate his presence by your presence, that's what I had to do. Prabhupada wasn't there anymore. He was with Krishna. And I had to replicate his visit when I came to the devotees. So the word is taken. Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, nice. Yes, very nice. Now what we gonna do? Well, let's chant and offer food to Krishna and have a feast and organize something. That's the reality. That's how much Krishna's mercy is there. He utilizes us even beyond our capacity. Even beyond our capacity, Krishna uses us. I mean, I'm sitting here speaking about the Srimad Bhagavatam. Am I qualified to speak on the Bhagavatam? Maybe I'm not qualified, but I'm ordered to. Because Prabhupada said every day we should read the Bhagavatam in the temples. Nashta prayeshwabadrishu nityam Bhagavata sevaya. Every day, nityam, we should read the Bhagavatam. So, of course I have to read it. I have to follow the order of my spiritual master. But the Bhagavatam is so high, but today is not so high. Today is just telling about all the thieves and all the reactions they get. That that tells us. And you know, Prabhupada is very, very accurate. He knows very well what's going on. And Prabhupada was a pure devotee, means all the money he got, he used for Krishna. You can see that. All the money you get, you're using for Krishna. Or you're stashing it somewhere, hiding it in a pillow. What's going on with the money you get or you have? It's a big question because Krishna knows every pillow in the world. He knows where people keep the money. So, what are we doing? What are we doing with Lord Krishna's energy? That is our responsibility. What are we doing with Krishna's energy? With Krishna's devotees? Every day there will be a test, a very serious test. And if you don't pass the test, then you have to repeat the test. Like in a school, you have to repeat the same course until they say, yes, you passed. Now you can go to the next test. Life is one test after the other. And if you don't pass, repeat. Or the result is this guy's not going to pass the test. He's just going to remain some lecha somewhere. No chance of becoming anything higher because he don't pass any test. So the Vedic culture is like that. The training years, we have to pass the test. The test of goodness, the test of compassion, the test we have to pass so many tests. Whole life is a test. And what about you? Are you winning? Are you passing the tests properly? Are you getting ready to go back home, back to college? Is that what you're doing now? Are you taking your human form of life so serious? So that you will definitely go up and not down. That is what our preaching is all about. Go up, go up, go up, go up. But no, go up. But I can't. Then get good association which pulls you up. Don't get bad association. Immediately will pull you down. Already you are nature downtrodden. Those who have a downtrodden nature, they're always lazy, don't want to do anything. If they get bad association, tomorrow they start smoking marijuana again. immediately they go down. So this is my contribution to you today, to tell you that take responsibility. Small or big, doesn't matter. Here or there, doesn't matter. And do something wonderful for Krishna. Please. If we can help each other, good. If not, do it by yourself. You don't need. Especially acharyas. Acharyas going on their own. Of course, they can get help from their godbrothers and family, but an acharya is going on his own. Why? Because if somebody becomes your disciple, first of all, you have to give him TLC. Tender, love, and care. That TLC, that tender love and care, which you give to a disciple, is because you feel responsible for him. The guru and the father and the mother, they are responsible for the children. Number two, now you need an atmosphere which is conducive for your disciple to advance. If your disciple is living in a temple, but there's a few other devotees, they are not your disciples, and they always say to the new disciple, yeah, your guru, yeah, he may be good, he may be bad, yeah, oh no, he doesn't even play good football, come on, forget it, Anybody who disturbs the faith of a new disciple in his guru, he is not very favorable to him. That's why the guru has to open a new temple for his disciples, where people are favorable to him. Because look what happened in ISKCON. In ISKCON, the new gurus had many new disciples, but they were living in temples which they did not build up. On the contrary, their god brothers did all the work from the past to the present. But the guru had the disciple, and then he was saying, anybody who doesn't follow me is not valuable, better they get out. Then the god brothers became very angry. Why we shall get out? We built up this place. Who made you a guru? They said, oh, Prabhupada made us guru. Wait a second, Prabhupada said he wanted all his disciples to be gurus. So then they claimed, no, Prabhupada appointed us. Yeah, he appointed you to take counseling with Srila Sridhar Maharaj. He taught you, he will tell you how it works to become a spiritual master. But they didn't like it because he told them, new guru means new temple. You have a new disciple you want to make preach? Go open a new temple. Don't sit on the shoulder of your god brothers and tell them they have to do what you say because you're the new guru. Don't do that. They will be unhappy. Whatever way, whatever structure you will give it, it is individual also. It is definitely an individual question. But in ISKCON, it was a fiasco. So many people had to leave their service where they had built up the mission. So many people, they had to go away to another country. Then they found the next same situation in the other country. They went to another country. There's some of the devotees, they went all around the world 3-4 times looking for a place to simply survive. To survive. Finally, they could not find it. That's why in ISKCON you find very few proper disciples being active. A few proper disciples, gurus, and the others, they're gone. I mean, it's not bad to be a guru. It's not bad to be a father. If there's no father, no mother, there's no new children. So it's a very, very wonderful if there's new children. What is a mission without fresh blood? Hare Krishna. Without fresh blood, nothing happens. You need fresh blood to keep something running. Fresh blood means new devotees. New devotees come from preaching, and preaching comes from giving classes and taking responsibilities and going into area and paying a new rent. Because that is what you have to do if you want to get a place. You have to pay rent, unless you have your own house. And if you have your own house, and you want to make it a temple, then you first donate your house. You say, this house will be Krishna's house when I die as well. In other words, when I die, not my children will get this house. This house will be for the preachers. Srila Prabhupada had so many houses. Some of his physical children, they thought, oh, my father has so many houses, we should get some. They made a court case to get from the judge some of the properties of Prabhupada, put for them in their name to benefit them. But they lost the case because Prabhupada had made it clear, this belongs to Krishna, it belongs to the devotees who preach here. If I get a house for my guru where he was preaching, and then I'm just sitting there living and I'm not preaching, that is a curse. That is a curse for you. You see houses, buildings, all these things, they're so vulnerable. They can be gone in one moment. In one moment, everything can be destroyed in Kali Yuga. And whom can you trust in Kali Yuga? It is love and trust. We cannot live and we cannot work without love and trust. But whom can you trust? When you see that everybody's cheating from top to bottom, so you have to find a pure devotee who's only serving Krishna. Then make him your Diksha Guru or your Shiksha Guru, whatever is the case, and serve him and protect the Krishna property. Protect. Only Krishna's property is a place worth living and worth serving. So Vrindavan has many temples, but where are the temples where it's not a business? Thank you. Thank you for the flowers. Yesterday I went to Gopeshwar Mahadev. Gopeshwar Mahadev was very, very nicely decorated. Full bangla. And I gave 500 rupee donation. Then they came to me and says, oh, give more and more and more. And I said, ticket. They said, what ticket? Give more. So they were not in the mood of service. You could feel this is business. So we have to serve the cause of the Lord. That is the issue. Cause of the Lord is the one and only. And Guru and his disciples, they are representing this tattva. Guru is the servant of his guru. His guru is the servant of his guru. His guru is servant of his guru. And the disciple has to preach so that the people trust him in the service of Krishna. And what about accounting? Yes, Chitragupta is the account holder. He keeps the accounts of Krishna. If anybody cheats Krishna, it goes on the karma record of Yamaraj. It's funny, Chitragupta. Have you ever thought about him? He looks at every penny which comes into the temples. Just like if I'm friendly with you, that is the account of friendliness. If I'm unfriendly to you, it goes off my account of unfriendliness. It's not only money which is being accounted for. How you treat people is accounted for. How much you sleep is accounted for. Are you sleeping necessary? No problem. Are you sleeping unnecessary? You only get up for Mahaprasadam. What kind of a lazy bump is that? Only gets up for Prashad. Never does any work. How long Krishna will tolerate that? Who knows? Krishna knows everything. So Chitragupta, our supreme accountant on every thought, words and action, they are all accountable. If I say something bad, that goes on my account. If I speak a lie, it goes on my account. If I pretend to do service, but I'm not doing service, that goes on my account. Questions, commentaries. It's a tough subject, no? Because it's the raw subject. It's the raw, real life subject. If I think about my childhood, I was born in a very decent family. Means my father and mother, they were a good unit. And they had us, the children, and they wanted us to be good people. And they wanted us to be disciplined. So we had to go to school, had to do all the things. We had some free time also. But it was quite regulated. If I think about my childhood, I must say that any brahmachari life, any mataji life in a temple, it's just like that. You have to be disciplined. You have to do your study. You have to do your work. Don't run around entertaining yourself all day. That is no work. That is no responsibility. And the devotees, the best service they can do is preaching. That is the best. Because there's so many people that know nothing about Krishna. Now the whole world is starting coming to Vrindavan. It is amazing to see how many people are coming here doing parikrama. So many people are doing Dandavat parikrama. My God. There's a strong religious feeling. For whatever reason they may do it. One time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, my grandfather guru, he was in Radhakunda, and somebody told him that some king was doing Dandavat Parikrama. And then he said, yes, I know that, but we are of different kind. He said, he's doing that because he wants to please Radharani, to get the mercy of Krishna for his benefit. But our camp is different. We just belong to Radharani. We don't want any other benefits. Something like that. I hope I told the story in the right way. So he told the devotees, like, okay, maybe a king is doing Dandavat Parikrama. But does he understand that we are Radharani's sole property? I understand. Any questions? Any commentaries?
Is it wrong to implement strictly the daily activities of the devotees in the temple?
If it is done with love, for sure not. Today you have to be acting with love on every level. Anything which is just harshness and unfriendliness, that will not bring any good result. Maybe you can get military discipline established for a short while, but in the long run, it will not.
One big issue in ISKCON is about devotee care. Many devotees give 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and for no reasons they have been neglected or thrown out for no reasons. So, how ordinary devotees will, they are dedicated, they want to be in the temple, they want to be, even the spiritual master doesn't interfere, he keeps quiet when the disciple is.
Spiritual master?
He is not able to intervene or take a decision in such situations. He leaves it to the management. A lot of thieves are being. Sorry.
Which institutions may have another solution, like having their own hospitals. In South America, in our preaching campaign, we always created a community of conscious doctors. Here's one of them. Conscious doctors. What is a conscious doctor? He is not a cheater. And he gives his treatment to sadhus for free. So we have had conscious dentists, conscious surgeons, we have had all that. You could say it worked quite well. So, social security for a devotee is working hard until the very last day of your life. We don't believe in, I did 10 years of Sankirtan, now you have to maintain me. That is a very negative attitude. Of course, those who are into social service, social benefits, they may argue a lot in favor of that, but they belong to the exploitation world. In the exploitation world, you always think, what is the benefit I'm going to get out of it? But in the dedication world, this is not. In the dedication world, you definitely accept whatever mercy you get. In practical, Antaryami is an old man in Colombia. He has diabetes, he's very bad off. But he's in a wheelchair, working in the reception. Everybody loves him, no complaint. If there's some need of medicine, the devotees help him with the medicine. So it's very much an individual question, devotee care. Who are you and what is your relationship? And what karma you have as well. So as far as big institution like ISKCON is concerned, I can't give a comment. I've not been inside that mission for almost 30 years. So I don't know how things have developed. But I'm going myself to Bhaktivedanta Hospital for some cases. So I think they have done okay in devotee maintenance. And as far as devotees, prasadam, and a place to live, you only get kicked out if you are a rascal, if you're like kind of shameless. Or there's big politics. And if there's big politics, you can still go somewhere else. Or which is actually the reason politics exist. I'll give you an example. Father has 8 children, 1 house. He fed them all. It was okay. Now the 8 children are growing up. What they're going to do with the house of father? Cut it into 8 pieces. There's maybe only 5 rooms. How are they going to have 8 new families in one house? No. Get out, get a new place, get married, and start your family. New unit. But maybe the devotees, the children are doing politics. I'm the eldest son, I would stay with the house. Like that, the struggle starts, no? Who gets what? But there is no answer. 8 families cannot stay in 5-room house. So they have to expand. So same thing applies to the spiritual missions. If you're not happily situated where you are, go out and make something. Or find a place where you fit in. That's very rare. Sometimes. It's a world of training. Questions? Any question? Mount Sarovar? No. Rohini? No question. You have also seen many things over the years. You're also coming from a big mission. Srila Bhakti Balabtirtha. And we have here sannyasis. Is that answering your question?
Anyway, there is always a if and but.
Huh?
There is always ifs and buts. What we can hope is, let us hope for the best. Unexpected things happen to everyone. So
I've seen people being born in Krishna consciousness. I've seen people die in Krishna consciousness. And I've seen that it was all quite okay. Yes, why not? One of my dearest disciples, Radha Tulasi, she joined, her children joined in the beginning of the Columbia movement. She came here, she did some beautiful service here. Then she went back, she became our pujari and leading. And then she became very sick and she didn't want to go to hospital. She wanted to die in the temple. And she died in the temple. And there we remember her. She has a little samadhi. So, yes, it's very easy to criticize the administration when you don't take the responsibility. That's very easy. But Krishna is the supreme controller. I purchased many properties, beautiful properties. Then by the will of power, destiny, I was sent away from those properties. Properties stayed behind and they're serving Krishna until today. I have no complaint. That was all Krishna's arrangement. Even I was sent away from Brazil. Brazil is the most lovely place you can imagine. Most beautiful, lovely people, very service. They like to do service. 6 temples I opened. 6 beautiful temples. Then I was sent away. And I was so unhappy you cannot even imagine. Or maybe you can imagine from Andaman. But because of that, I started preaching all over Latin America, all the way to Caribbean and Central America, Mexico, everywhere. And I met the most beautiful people in the world. And I also went back to Brazil later. So I have nothing to complain. Really have nothing to complain. That was Krishna's mercy. And we are all getting older, no? So we're all asking the questions. When we're going to take up that responsibility for others, because that is what the Guru does. He takes responsibility. I mean, look, every father, how old are the fathers generally? 25, 27, 28, 30. They're 30 years and they're responsible for their children. That means Guru Mata, Guru Pita. He's 30 years old, he's the guru of a child now. So that means he's a guru, he has to take full responsibility. Yudhishthir also has so many disciples. Mansarova has disciples. You have disciples. He has disciples. He has disciples. So look after our disciples and make things beautiful. And like for Vinda Kunja, everybody's welcome here in our family. But they are welcomed here to come also to help, to clean up the garden and give a donation. And it's not that they're coming here and says, I have a right. No, nobody has a right here. A right to serve, yes. and your service will always be welcome. Come on.